Hello everyone, and welcome to the podcast where we explore fascinating topics and improve our English skills at the same time. I'm John.
And I'm Emma. Today's episode is titled, The Truth About Money and Happiness. We'll be discussing how money impacts our happiness and how to find balance in our lives.
Before we dive in, let's go over some key vocabulary you'll hear in today's episode. Here are a few words and phrases we'll cover. Wealth, the abundance of valuable resources or material possessions. Fulfillment, a feeling of satisfaction or happiness as a result of fully developing one's abilities or character. Contentment, a state of happiness and satisfaction. Stress, a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. Balance, a condition in which different elements are equal or in the correct proportions.
Got it. Great. Now let's listen to a dialogue inspired by a real podcast. In this conversation, two friends discuss their perspectives on money and happiness.
You know, Michael, I've been thinking a lot about money lately. It seems like everyone is always trying to get more of it, but I'm not sure it really makes us happier.
I know what you mean, Laura. I used to think that having more money would solve all my problems. But now, I feel like it just adds more stress.
Exactly. I have some friends who are really wealthy and they still seem unhappy. I wonder if they're missing something important.
That's interesting. I've heard that real happiness often comes from relationships and personal achievements, not just from how much money you have.
I agree. It's about finding balance. Sure, money can make life easier, but it's not the only thing that matters.
Yeah, and sometimes focusing too much on money can actually take away from the things that bring true fulfillment, like spending time with loved ones or pursuing personal passions.
Absolutely. I think the key is to find a balance where you have enough money to live comfortably, but not let it consume your life.
Well said. It's definitely about how we use our resources and how we prioritize our time and relationships.
Welcome back. That was a great dialogue between Laura and Michael. Let's review some of the key phrases and vocabulary they used.
First, we heard wealth. Michael mentioned how having more money can sometimes add stress, despite being wealthy.
Right. And Laura talked about balance, finding the right amount of money that allows for a comfortable life without letting it control everything.
Yes, and they both touched on fulfillment and contentment, which are about finding happiness beyond just financial wealth.
Exactly. Remember, the dialogue was about understanding that money can help but shouldn't be the only focus for happiness. It's about achieving a balance.
Now let's dive into a quick debate. John, do you think that achieving wealth is always beneficial, or can it sometimes be counterproductive?
That's a good question, Emma. I think wealth can be beneficial if used wisely. It provides opportunities and can ease daily stress. However, if one becomes too focused on accumulating wealth, it might lead to neglecting other important aspects of life, like relationships and personal well-being.
I agree. Wealth itself isn't bad, but it's crucial to have a balanced perspective. Pursuing happiness and fulfillment should be the main goal, with money as a tool to support that, not as the end goal.
Exactly. It's about how you manage and perceive money. If you let it dictate your happiness, you might end up feeling empty regardless of how much you have.
Well put. Finding joy in life's simpler pleasures and maintaining strong relationships often lead to more lasting happiness than wealth alone.
That wraps up our discussion for today. We hope you found this episode insightful and helpful in understanding the complex relationship between money and happiness.
Remember, it's all about finding balance and focusing on what truly brings you fulfillment. Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more interesting topics and English learning tips. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.